Well, we're back again. World Baseball Classic is starting in 1 hour from now in Tokyo, Japan, when Taiwan will take its first game against Australia. And that's actually a very important game in the race for what many people will be for second place in Pool C. But I want to talk about all four pools. It's great because we have 4 cities, we have 20 teams, we have 600 baseball players. And for the next couple of weeks, it's going to be baseball madness getting ready for the regular season in a variety of countries, including the United States with MLB, North America, as well as here in Taiwan. So we have 4 pools. We have Pool A, which has Canada, Colombia, Cuba, Panama, and Puerto Rico. I think Puerto Rico is definitely going to be the favorite in that group, but boy, it looks really interesting for who might be competing for second place there. So let's look at each of those teams really quickly. What have they done before in the World Baseball Classic? Canada has been in all 5 editions of the World Baseball Classic, but they have never gotten out of pool play. Their best appearance was in actually the inaugural World Baseball Classic when they went 2-1 in 2006 in pool play and defeated the United States, which was considered to be an upset. But they weren't able to advance, and they have never advanced. They look pretty well poised here. They might have a chance at advancing out of this group. You've got Puerto Rico, who's really strong. You've got 4 good teams, but none of them really seems to be heads and above all the others. So any of those 4 teams could win. One of them is Colombia. Colombia's got a very strong team. Colombia has a lot of very good baseball players. This is their 3rd appearance in the World Baseball Classic. They also, unlike Canada, have never made it out of the pool stage. They came 1-2 in 2017, though they did push the United States to a 10-inning thriller in that World Baseball Classic. They went 1-3 in 2023, but they've got the tools. They could make a run. They could possibly get out of this group. Cuba used to be a powerhouse. 2006, the inaugural Baseball Classic, they were runners-up. I've seen Cuba back 20 years ago, and they were a strong team. They were always difficult to deal with. I remember one time when Taiwan defeated them, and Taiwan's players were so excited about having beat them. I remember Zhang Taishan, who is a baseball legend in Taiwan, yelling how excited they were to have defeated Cuba. Cuba's not that anymore. Cuba does have good players. They do have some pedigree. They can advance out of this group, but it's going to be very, very competitive. But they're not the overwhelming power they used to be. Panama was a surprise in the last World Baseball Classic. A little bit unpleasant. I was actually at the game, the first game of the World Baseball Classic in 2023, when they upset Taiwan in Taichung. They were victimized, as was Taiwan and several other countries, as being in probably what was the craziest group in the history of baseball craziness, because 5 teams all finished 2-2 in that group. Panama did not win the tiebreaker. They came in 4th in the tiebreaker. They have also never advanced out of the group stage. They've been there 4 times. This will be their 4th appearance, They could do it. They have the talent. They have the ability to get out of this group. Puerto Rico seems to be heads and above the best team in this group. They should win this group. They came twice. They came in second place, 2013, 2017. So they've been there. They know how to win. They definitely have the pedigree to get out of this group, probably as the group winners. Any of those other 4 teams, if I were betting, I would probably pick Canada. But any one of those 4 teams could get through that group. Pool B is in Houston, Texas, and it will be Brazil, Great Britain, Italy, Mexico, and the USA. And of the 4 groups, this is the most obvious as to who is likely to get through: USA and Mexico. Italy might have a chance to get through. Britain and Brazil will be probably competing for last place to not have to qualify for the next one. Now, Brazil is back. Brazil made its only appearance in the World Baseball Classic in 2013. They will be looking for their first win ever in the World Baseball Classic. You would think that their best opportunity to get that would be against Great Britain. They don't figure to be all that competitive against Mexico or the United States in particular. Those are the 2 dominant teams in the group. Now, Great Britain did get a win in their only appearance in 2013. They beat Colombia 7-5. But they did not advance out of the group stage. Italy is interesting because they have a combination of Italian-born and raised players, but they also have some American major leaguers who are of Italian descent. And so they are able to represent Italy because Italy has different citizenship guidelines. Now, keep in mind, the WBC does not play by the same rules as the IOC or FIFA in that you only have to be eligible for citizenship. And Italy has rather liberal rules for members of the Italian diaspora. It is kind of a crazy rule because, theoretically, if I were a baseballer, and I'm not, I was a footballer in athletics, but if I were, I could theoretically represent any one of 4 countries. Yeah, so that's kind of how crazy I could. Obviously, USA and Canada. I also could have potentially represented France, and of course Taiwan. I am eligible for Taiwan citizenship as well. So yeah, I mean it's kind of a crazy system. But oh well. Mexico is making its 6th appearance. They've been in every single edition of the World Baseball Classic. They came in 3rd place in 2023, so they have recent success, and that they figure to come out of this group. On paper, the United States is always a powerhouse. The United States has major league talent. They've got Aaron Judge. They've got Clayton Kershaw. They've got Alex Bergman. They've got just a number, Roman Anthony. They just have a number of players, but they always just seem to come short. Now, they did win the championship in 2012, and they're one of only 3 teams to have advanced to every quarterfinal. Yeah, United States, Japan, and Puerto Rico are the only 3 that have advanced to every final. So you expect the United States to advance out of this group, but they just always seem to not be able to finish it off at the end. So that's Pool B. Pool C is arguably the most interesting of the 4 groups, of the 4 pools. 4 of the 5 teams in this group have made it to at least one quarterfinal. All of them have potential to do damage deep into the tournament, with the exception of Czechia. Czechia is the weakest team in the group. This group has Australia, Taiwan, Czechia, and Japan. Japan is going to be the prohibitive favorite in this group, though Korea and Taiwan have beaten Japan before. Taiwan fairly recently. So Japan, while they've won 3 baseball classics, they're the only one that has won more than once. They have been to every quarterfinal. They're not invincible. Okay? They do seem to be the heavy favorites, though, playing at home in the Tokyo Dome, but they can be beat. Not sure Australia is the one to do it, but Australia definitely will be competing for the 2nd place. They've made it to the quarterfinals in 2023. They finished 3rd in their pool, as well, with wins over Korea, China, Czechia, but then they lost to Cuba in the quarterfinals. So Australia could definitely do it. They would have to pull off an upset against presumably either Taiwan, which they'll be playing Taiwan in 50 minutes, so we'll see, or Korea or Japan, though that doesn't seem likely. They should expect to get by Czechia. Taiwan also making its 6th appearance. They've been in every World Baseball Classic. They did make the quarterfinals in 2013. Sorry, they came in an agonizing 5th place in their group in the last World Cup at home in Taichung. But it was after every team finished 2-2. They lost to the Panama, but they defeated Australia and the Netherlands in their 2013 quarterfinal run before losing to Japan in what is one of the most dramatic games in World Baseball Classic history. Taiwan, seeing a potential chance to advance, pushed Japan to the 10th inning, lost 3-4 and 10 in just what was an incredible baseball game. In 2023, they lost to Panama in the opener when Mariano Rivera actually threw the opening pitch to a rousing ovation by the local crowd in Taichung. But the home crowd was very disappointed by the loss. And yeah, they finished 2-2. They lost out on the tiebreaker. Czechia has been in 1 World Baseball Classic in 2013. They did get a win in that they beat China in pool play, but that is their only win in the history of the World Baseball Classic. They just seem to be overmatched in this group. Of course, Japan are the giants. They have Shohei Ohtani. They've got talent up and down the roster, most of it playing in the Japanese league, which is very strong. Several of the Taiwanese and Korean players also play in the Japanese league. They are 3-time champions, including the reigning champions from 2023. Korea Republic, They're still most famous for their 2009 run, where they defeated Japan in pool play in Tokyo. They defeated Japan again in the second round pool play. That was before they went to quarterfinal elimination games. But then they made it to the final, and they lost to Japan in the final. Okay, I'm sure there are still Koreans who are really heartbroken over that, especially considering the relationship between the two countries. So Pool C really looks to be interesting. Pool D is also a very interesting pool. Pool D is also a pool in which 4 of the teams have made it to the quarterfinals before. There are some very strong teams in this group, seemingly headlined by the Dominican Republic, but Israel, Netherlands, Venezuela all also have very strong players. Nicaragua seems like they would be the odd team out in there. They're the one who have never advanced before. Dominican Republic is the 2013 champions. They've been in every World Baseball Classic. They have loads of major league talent. They have a lot of power. They have a lot of speed. They have baseball smarts. They can play small ball. They're always a tough team to handle. They're not going to be an easy team to deal with. Israel, again, taking advantage of some of the citizenship rules, have a lot of U.S.-based players in Major League and AAA. They're making their 3rd appearance. They made it to the quarterfinals. They did advance to the quarterfinals in 2017. Hopefully, we can keep the politics out of this tournament because, of course, there's going to be a lot of tension these days with what's going on in the Middle East. But let's just hope. Let's just enjoy the baseball, guys. In fact, for me, I'm going to enjoy the baseball. I'm going to turn off CNN, turn off Fox, and just enjoy the games. Next is actually a really strong team. You wouldn't think the Netherlands would be strong, except that some of their Caribbean islands have very, very strong talent. And so they've always had good teams, bolstered by some of the talent that they also do have in the mainland of the Netherlands. They are also making their 6th appearance. They have also, on 2 occasions, made it to the Final Four, finishing in 4th place in 2013 and 2017. Nicaragua is making its 2nd appearance. They are hoping to get their 1st win ever in the World Baseball Classic, but that does not seem likely in this group, as there are 4 teams that are definitely very competent in the sport of baseball. In 2013, they lost to Puerto Rico, Israel, Dominican Republic, and Venezuela. So they'll be looking for their 1st ever win. Venezuela is always an intriguing team. You never know which version of Venezuela is going to show up. They're also making their 6th appearance. They did finish in 3rd place in 2009, and they did go 4-0 in pool play in 2023. So they do have the play. And they were ahead of the United States in the quarterfinal until Trey Turner hit that 8th inning grand slam that sealed it for the United States. So don't look past Venezuela. Venezuela is going to be a tough team. I would expect Dominican Republic to advance out of this group. Then I would also tab the Netherlands to grab that 2nd spot, but don't look past Israel. Don't look past Venezuela. They're both very capable and could pull off an upset against the Netherlands, but I wouldn't expect it. So I'm really, really excited. This is going to be a lot of fun. So my picks for getting out of the pool play, and again, take this maybe with a grain of salt because there's actually some really good teams here, and there's really some close matchups. But I would say Pool A, Puerto Rico. And I would give a slight edge to Canada over Colombia and Cuba, but either one of those teams, or even Panama, Panama, Colombia, Cuba, they all could compete for that 2nd spot in that group. Pool B, I think Mexico and USA clearly are the top 2 teams. Italy, if anyone's going to make a challenge at either of those, Brazil and Great Britain, I don't think so. That's a fairly weak pool. Pool C, again, intriguing pool. You would expect Japan to go through, and I'm going to pick because Taiwan actually plays well at Tokyo Dome. In fact, the last time Taiwan played Japan at Tokyo Dome, Taiwan emerged as the premier 12 global champions. So don't write off Taiwan at the Tokyo Dome. I would actually pip Taiwan to edge out Korea Republic and Australia. If Taiwan can get past Australia today, then look to Sunday for a really crucial matchup between Taiwan and Korea Republic. And Pool D, I would say Dominican Republic will win that group. I would maybe give the nod to the Netherlands to come in 2nd, but don't write off, especially Venezuela. Don't write off Venezuela. Also, don't write off Israel. Israel's got some good players, and I'm just really, really looking forward to this. 2 weeks, baseball. It's going to be crazy, and whoever wins, just let's have some great baseball, and may the best country win.